Welcome to Nacho Fitness Coach. Two friends discuss all things fitness to bring knowledge and some opinions to you wherever you may be in your health journey. My friend Caleigh, the beginner, almost ran a 5K once, recently had her first protein shake, and is the proud owner of one set of 5-pound dumbbells.
And my friend Sara, the expert, grunts when she lifts, has race walked dozens of races, including a full marathon, and has 12 open protein tubs in the pantry. So let's get started.
Whoa. Okay, so this podcast is for entertainment only. If you have concerns about your health, consult a physician or other healthcare professionals. There's this thing apparently for January that is, I don't know if it's out there. I don't know when things become official on social media, but dry January.
Right.
Apparently, you're supposed to detox from your holiday
Alcohol consumption.
I guess.
Cheer, if you will. Your holiday cheer.
Holiday cheer, which probably started for me at Halloween.
You started drinking at Halloween?
Well, you know, when you have to deal with all of the kids in the costumes coming begging for candy.
Okay.
But then rolls into Thanksgiving.
Yep.
And then Christmas.
Yep.
Which.
And so people do, like, you don't drink for the whole month of January.
Apparently. Right.
Is that a thing that you do? Don't do?
Well, I mean, we haven't started it yet. As we have a bottle of wine open
here
right now with glasses that we are partaking. But, you know, it's an interesting concept. Is it something we should probably adopt, maybe?
I mean, I've seen a couple articles and stuff over the last couple days, weeks about the actual health benefits of doing a dry January.
Do you believe in the actual health benefits of dry anything?
I mean, am I doing it? No.
Not at all. There's no dry January in your household.
Not at the moment, no. We might shoot for February. It's a shorter month.
I mean, that's one strategy for sure. I mean, you could do that, I guess. But there are health benefits around
not drinking
alcohol. Right.
Apparently it can be hard on your liver.
Physiological benefits. Yes. Yeah, it depends on how much you're drinking. I mean, how much are you consuming when you partake?
Are you asking me?
I am. I mean, well, you already said you were cutting back.
Yeah, I've cut back.
Before, in a previous episode, you were mentioning that you'd cut back.
Yeah.
Your intake.
Yeah.
To weekends only, and changed your preference.
I do weekend. Yeah, because I used to drink the twisted teas that were, close to 200 calories per.
All sugar.
Yeah, they're good.
They are very good.
They're so good.
Sure.
I drank a lot of those. I switched to the high noons.
For what reason? What was it made you choose the high noon over the twisted tea?
I mean, just that I know it's full of sugar, and I would see, I would do really well throughout the week with, my workouts, my eating. I would do really well. And then, weekend was just a free for all. Eat what I want, drink what I want. So now I was like, let me try to not drink these things.
So it was more the sugar content.
Yeah, it was more the sugar.
The calories at all get you?
I mean, yeah. It was the
sugar. But mostly the sugar.
I would say it was the sugar. I set out to find a lower calorie drink, which, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. That's going to be lower sugar. It's going to be lower calories.
Usually. Okay. I would say most typically, yes. But I have not actually looked at the nutrition label of a twisted tea compared to a high noon. Oh, you have? Okay, well then good. So you've got the comparison. So then how much did you cut? If you made that transition, you made that switch over from the twisted tea to the high noon, calorie difference estimated.
What's the difference in calories?
Yeah, one to one.
I mean, the twisted teas are 194 calories.
Okay.
Per 12 ounce.
One bottle.
Yeah. The high noons are 100 calories.
So about half.
And it's just vodka soda. I mean, nothing else. There's nothing else in it. It says in these.
It's got some bubblies, I think, doesn't it? Isn't it carbonated?
Not as much as I don't think. Not as much as a White Claw. I don't know. Either way, they're not my thing. I don't like them.
They don't taste good.
I'm not the seltzer.
Oh,
I don't like it.
It's dry. It tastes like bitter to me or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I have a hard time. Which probably is better because I enjoy the twisted teas. They go down real quick.
Almost a little too quick.
Whereas the high noons, like it takes me a minute.
And you're like, oh, is this even really worth it?
This weekend, we're just coming off the weekend here. I enjoyed a few Bloody Marys.
Oh, but now would you consider a Bloody Mary like an advance in like?
Well, I looked it up.
Okay.
I looked it up.
Okay.
Because I was sick of the high noons. I need something else.
It didn't taste very good.
Try not to go back. Well, and so I looked it up, and what I found on the internet was that if you get the mixes, you're still getting all the sodium. It's not as healthy as like the make your own.
Okay.
So I went to the store. I didn't want to make my own.
I'm not going to go that far.
No,
we're not going to put in that much effort.
I'm not going to make my own. So into the store, I'm like, I'll just grab a mix. So I go look here at the local store, and I mean, I'm looking up and down the aisle, up and down, all the mixers. There's no Bloody Mary mix. I'm like,
so you have to make it from scratch.
Fine, I'll make my own.
The universe was calling for you to make.
Wait.
Okay.
Just wait.
Oh, wait. Nope. No calling.
So I did. I went and found all the ingredients needed, which I had to look up because I don't know what goes in a Bloody Mary. I went and found everything. Got it in my cart, and then I went back to go get the vodka. Grabbed the vodka, turned to my right.
It's there.
There's the Bloody Mary mix.
So then what did you do?
What did I do? What do you think I did?
Put all the real stuff back and went and got the mix. Okay. All right. So now we got the Bloody Mary mix.
Which, I mean.
And the vodka.
Which can't be the worst thing for you. You got your vegetables.
What kind of mix was it? Just a mix.
Mr. T's? Is that a thing?
I don't know.
I feel like there's like Mr. T's.
Look up the nutritional value of a Bloody Mary mix here. We'll see what it actually says. See, look, there's very simple ingredients though to make your own.
I know.
But you scratched it.
I still didn't want to. I wanted something I could pour in a glass.
Okay, so let's pedal back a little bit. So you have historically been a twisted tea consumer.
Yeah.
At what point did you switch over to the high noons?
A couple months ago.
So you had kind of started in the summer over the whole running journey, got into that, and weren't maybe seeing the results of the effort that you were putting into it.
It really wasn't until I kicked out the twisted teas.
Okay.
That I was really starting to see.
So then all of a sudden you're like, what am I doing all this for? Because I've been running. I'm having these goals. And I'm like, I haven't done anything.
Right.
So then you switch to the high noons because you're like, okay, maybe this is a
culprit.
culprit.
Let's see what happens if I don't drink a 12-pack of twisted teas every weekend. Let's see what happens.
Both to the checking account and to the...
I was not drinking a 12-pack of twisted teas.
The internal bank account. Okay. The body bank account. Okay. So we made the change.
Right.
Started to see some results happen.
Yeah.
Related to the caloric difference. Mm-hmm. I mean, because you cut that in half. You're cutting out now 1,200 calories.
Right.
And consuming.
Yeah. Those add up.
Yeah, they do. For sure they do. You're like, I've been rocking it 5 days a week. I can do whatever I want on the weekends. And then it's like, wait a second.
And I mean, honestly, and I don't know how deep we need to go into it. I think everybody has their own unique relationship with alcohol.
100%.
Some struggle with alcohol. Some people can handle it, and
it affects everyone differently.
It
for
does,
sure.
And so I'm not here to say don't drink alcohol, to be healthy, because it's not a thing that
I'm willing to give up. And everyone has to find their spot.
Do I sound like an alcoholic?
No. But I always think it's interesting having this conversation with people because everyone's relationship is very different.
Right.
Your health and wellness goals are very different. Mm-hmm. Everyone's different. So it's like yours were specific to like the goals though that you were trying to make some changes.
Yeah.
And you figured it out. Okay, so then the Bloody Mary mix came into it at some point.
That was just this weekend. I don't foresee that being.
Why? You don't like it?
I like a good Bloody Mary every once in a while,
but not to consistently be the.
So. I don't think it's going to be my weekend go-to. Now that being said, like the vodka, I always hear that vodka is the least bad for you alcohol as far as calories.
Right.
But I don't know. The thought of drinking a cranberry vodka, I don't know.
Not really.
What do you drink?
Not really anything.
What do you drink?
I don't drink. I drink when I come here with you to record podcasts. That's pretty much my jam.
And you enjoy your margaritas on our taco nights.
See, so I'm catching a theme here. You're having an influence on me. Cheers.
Who else do you drink with?
Cheers. You're it.
So if I'm gonna stick, if I need to go down a path of drinking the healthiest,
right?
I'm not gonna give up drinking.
Then what do you do?
Stick with vodka?
Well, I mean, see, here's the interesting thing, because we are completely always, I feel like, marketed to alcohol. It's the calories. That's what you always hear. All the marketing for any one of the beverages is talking about calories, right? More so, I feel like, than sugars.
Yeah,
They
and it's
never
a big
really
thing right now. With
they really never talk about the
hard
sugars.
Seltzers.
Yes, they've come out and they're like, oh, or like Michelob Ultra. I feel like was one of the very first ones that was like, all of a sudden we're like 84 calories. Don't quote me on that. I don't know what it was, but all of a sudden they were like, we are the lesser calorie option,
right?
And the marketing from the companies have been specifically around calories,
right?
So as a culture, that's what we're told that we really need to care about with the calories.
That matters.
You at least were reading the labels and you're like, this has a lot of sugar, which sugar does make the calorie count then like go up. And so you're like, okay, how about this? But the one thing that I feel like doesn't get talked about very often is just the alcohol component in the beverage in general. Yeah. Because, especially as we age, which I'm not getting any younger and nobody's getting any younger, I would prefer to stay as young looking and feeling as long as possible. The alcohol has a negative effect on your aging process. Right. So you're like, okay, well now it's making me actually look worse on the outside, not just feeling it, or like having negative effects on any weight loss goals, for example. I mean, the alcohol itself like literally takes your body out of the fat burning state. So when you were doing such a good job all the way through the week, you're like, oh, I'm getting my exercising in, I'm doing my program, I'm running, I'm like probably watching what you were eating at that point too, or like starting to pay attention to it or whatever. And you're like, oh, the only thing I'm doing differently than on the weekends is drinking alcohol, but it can't be that bad. Yeah. Well, you've got the sugar, the calories, which we all kind of probably heard about a little bit. Now it's the alcohol. Yep. So any fat burning that you had gotten into over those 5 days comes like a screeching halt. Right. Because your body's like, I got to get rid of this. So, now you're not burning your fat like you wanted to. Right. And has hormonal effects too. Oh. Which I don't really think any one of us wants to deal with more hormonal changes than we already get naturally. No, ma'am. So I see that a lot as people go into like menopause and having later in life like serious hormonal changes is having the impacts that it does on like estrogen and things like that, which is already happening naturally. We don't exactly need to force that anymore. And then it takes you out of fat burning state, and all of a sudden you're like, I don't know how I put all this extra weight on. Yeah. No, it was really for me getting to a point where I was seeing it was do great during the week. I felt better. I felt great. Weekend hits, have my weekend drinks. And then, it just canceled out everything I had done throughout the week. Completely. So making the change with the calorie difference made a difference though, because now you're at least a little bit in a caloric deficit, but knocking it out altogether would be the best anti-aging weight loss solution. Oh, okay. I'll do that. Which is not the answer for everyone, but enjoy my weekend drinks. The more you can. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. What is something I can still enjoy that I'm not like having to choke down because I don't like it. I think it's different for everybody. Everyone's lifestyles are different. What our history is different. The way our bodies are built are different. It's different for everyone. And at what point you hit and like tip over. There are some people that I know that have had a whole night, have never had a hangover in their life, which would be unimaginable. See, and that to me that was another factor into, because I just feel like shit when I wake up, and it's getting to the point where it's not worth it. I have kids, I have stuff to do. We're old, Caleigh. I don't have time. I don't have time to lay in bed till 2 p.m. I don't have time for a hangover. No. Mine were always really bad, and I never knew why. And then I found out that I only have one fully functioning kidney.
Oh, well, there you go.
So that also, I think, is a reason why I never started drinking a whole lot.
Yeah.
Because my hangovers would take me out for like days. And it was like, how do other people go out and enjoy? I mean, this was like college years or whatever. And it was like, how is that happening for people? I don't know. I was like, it makes me sick. I'm not going to do that anymore.
Yeah.
And then come to find out there was actually a legitimate reason why. My right kidney only functions at 30%.
Oh.
So it does, because it got all dilated and backed up and went like process and drain and, so.
Interesting.
Good times. But, that is, I think, the one area of alcohol that there are meters that you can move to, just like you have done. Notice the habits, making the changes, maybe switching out the choices.
Right.
But also realizing the older you get, the more negative adverse reactions come with your hormones as it relates to aging and things like that. So, and weight loss, it's just not your friend.
Yeah.
It's also the one thing that people fight me on the most.
Is it?
Oh, for sure. People are like, don't make me give up my alcohol.
I can see that. I would fight you.
And I'm like, well, if you want to see your waistline decrease, then at some point you're going to want to have to it depends.
I think it's just like with the rest of the journey. It's if you're not willing to tweak something, you're not going to see results.
But you know what? And sometimes you get to a point where you're like, okay, I don't want to do what it's going to take for me to get that because, or I could, but then I won't be able to sustain it. And so then it's like, I'm right back to where I'm at. So there you do also hit that point where you're like, I've got to have this balance of
living life and doing. It's important to also know what you are not willing to do.
For sure.
It's just as important as, being able to tweak what you're doing and change things. Yep. There are hard lines for people that they will not change.
And sometimes that's good, because then you realize you're like, if you change it for a short period of time, that's
when
you
your
rebound.
Expectations, and you can be like, I'm not going to give up drinking Twisted Teas on the weekends, but
maybe instead of having a full 12 pack, maybe I'll just have 6 pack and start there.
There are light Twisted Teas, which I think are around 100 calories.
So then how do they make it a light? Less sugar? So then they add the artificial, is it artificial sweetener? What did they do?
I'm gonna give it a goog here.
So you've got less calories, which I'm guessing then they started mixing in some sort of artificial sweetener, because the alcohol by volume, I would guess, is probably similar. But the question is then, is the flavor the same? Because
I think it's just I think it's the flavor. I think it's sweetened less. So I've never had it. Never had it. You can't get them around here. Trust me, I looked.
So it's there somewhere.
Trying to find what is the difference between Twisted Tea.
The flavor.
Yeah, the Twisted Tea Light is 6.2 grams of sugar and is 109 calories in the same serving size.
See, isn't that crazy though? How they all market it's around 100 calories
versus 23 grams of sugar in the original Twisted Tea.
Right, but yeah, this is also the power of marketing in the health and wellness industry. It's these companies have billion-dollar budgets. I'm guessing with some of them.
Do you
on
think
marketing and telling us exactly how we should perceive their product?
Do you think that Twisted Tea will sponsor us after this episode?
They might. You know what we need to do? When we do the videos for social media, we need to have a little counter at the top of the video that says how many times in this episode will we say Twisted Tea, and just have a little ticker. And then maybe, I don't know, when we go back and count it all, we can see if we cross over, what do you think? 30 times that we've seen said Twisted Tea, then I don't know, maybe we should have some sort of giveaway or something for, I don't know, we'll have to go back and count them and see how many times, but maybe.
So if I could get my hands on these Twisted Tea Lights.
They got to come to the Midwest. Everything starts on the coast and then slowly works its way in.
That's a thing I could do.
We'll see. You're at least moving the meter.
Right.
And that, that's the other thing that sometimes a lot about diet and nutrition is it's all or nothing thing a lot of times for people that they're I have to go.
Will be the kind of thing where if I, a few months down the road, 6 months down the road, I try a Twisted Tea and it's disgusting. That's what I'm trying to make happen.
You'll probably, it'll go, I'm sure as you change, you'll
Twisted
be like, this
tea
isn't
was
worth
the
it.
First, I don't know if you know, people have their drink. Everybody has their drink that they like. I don't know. Apparently you don't.
Their go-to.
I never had one. I could never find the drink that I liked.
Your go-to drink.
Yeah. Until I started drinking Twisted Tea.
And then you're like, it's a match.
I liked it. It didn't taste have an overwhelming alcohol taste. So
it's because it was all sugar. That's fine.
It's like eating a bag of Skittles.
Very good. All right. So, yeah, that is the thing about alcohol. I mean, it's supposed to be dry January. So it sounds like you're going more for like a
damp January. I mean, we've had how many weekends? Two now?
We got 2 to go. I mean, there's still plenty of time to be like, I can jump on this social media bandwagon and just, go for it.
I think it's for someone else. It's for someone else.
It's for someone else. Not for me. Not for me.
Not for me.
Okay. So alcohol, you like it or love it?
I like it.
Hate it. Love it or hate it?
In a healthy moderation.
Works, I guess.
Do we love or hate taking an entire month off of drinking intentionally?
I kind of love it.
You do?
Yeah, only because I feel like sometimes those shorter mini goals can help you realize that I didn't need that as much as I thought that I did. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times it's become so ingrained in a routine or your social group or whatever it might be that sometimes just having anyone can do anything for 30 days. If you really want to.
Yeah.
Right. So I think sometimes it is kind of interesting if you set these mini goals to see, all right, that wasn't as hard as I thought, or it might be harder. And then you just kind of play that in fact.
I mean, that's kind of the path I'm on. I've set different 30-day goals and
maybe we could do it.
Hasn't been one yet. Maybe it will be.
We will. Hey, maybe we should start it because we're going to kick off the 12 by 3 by 30 treadmill workout
at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, we do 30 days of each. No alcohol and the treadmill workout.
All at the same. That's a lot. All at the same time.
Why not?
You're asking a lot of me. Okay.
Just think about it. We don't have to commit yet. All right. Maybe. It was just an idea. Okay. Just an idea. All right. So there we go. Okay. So there we go. That's where we're at, I guess. Caleigh loves it. I could do without it. It's not that big a grade to me. That's only because of the whole kidney situation. But there we go. As we refill for the next episode at some point. A little extra in there. There we go. All right. So love it, like it, love it or hate it. I could do without it. I don't think it's worth it, but that's just me personally.
I love it.
There you go.
All right.
Polar opposites. So on this one. Okay. Till next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the episode. Be sure to let us know how you feel about the topic. Do you love it or hate it?
Also, subscribe, give us a 5-star rating, and of course, tell your friends. Until next time.
You've been listening to Euphony Innovatives Sonified.